my pretties, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Victoria, or sometimes I also go by Vicky, and today I'm going to be talking about products that I regret buying and or will not be repurchasing. Of course, I will throw a disclaimer in here. I feel like everybody has to. Majority of the stuff that I'm going to mention is simply because just I don't like it. I don't like the way it works. I don't like the way it works in my skin, stuff like that really. Yeah, it's all just a personal preference type thing. If you love one of the products I mention, please don't get offended in any way. I'm glad it works for you, and I wish it worked better for me. So yeah, other than that, let's get right on into this thing. So I'm not going to be doing this in any particular order or anything like that. This is all just makeup, so I'm just going to kind of go along. Now the first thing I'm going to talk about right here, I know quite a bit of people actually really like this product, but I don't know. I liked it at first and now I don't like it anymore, and I haven't had it that long, so I know it's not like expired or anything like that. And it is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. It would be great if I could focus it. I don't know, I tried this for a while and I thought I liked it at first, but the more that I've used it, I've grown to like it less and less and less, and I've actually only kept it for this video just to talk about it, and then I will be throwing it away. It's supposed to be, I would say, like maybe satin to matte finish. I'm trying to see if it says anywhere in here. It does not, from what I can see. I would definitely say, yeah, it's pretty matte. I'm just not a fan of a lot of things about it. First off, I'm not a big fan of the consistency. It's like liquidy, and it also smells literally like paint. If you have ever painted like your room like with latex paint, that is exactly what this smells like. So that was a huge turnoff the first time I even got it, whenever I bought it. But I was like, oh, I'll just look past it and I'll just keep using it, you know, because if it works great, I can get over the smell, because the smell doesn't linger once the foundation is dry. But I'm pretty sure this is causing me to break out, and I've heard other people mention that before, that it has a lot of different ingredients that can make you break out. I haven't looked into it myself, honestly, but I did start getting a lot more breakouts whenever I started using this. I'm not a person who breaks out too frequently, so I'm pretty sure this is what's causing it, and that is the #1 reason of all that I will be getting rid of this. So yeah, I'm not super impressed with it. I also feel like that a lot of people were saying it's a full coverage foundation. It just wasn't giving me the full coverage that I was expecting. More of a medium coverage. I had to build it up on myself. The next thing is Becca highlighters. Now I know these are all the craze back when Jaclyn Hill was, when she was collabing and making her own highlight, and that actually is this one right here. This is Champagne Pop. You can see a pan on it. That wasn't me, that was my wonderful old roommate. Yeah, I thought it was super great whenever I was first like getting them and everything, and now I've tried multiple other highlighters that just really give me what I'm looking for more than this. This is super blinding. It is very pretty. That's it. You can kind of see it's a gold stripe on my hand. It has become too dark for me. This is something I could only use in the summer. I'm just really not a fan after using so many other different highlighters. I do like that, you know, it is pretty intense, but it's also intense of the fact that it shows all the texture on my face. So it shows like any kind of bump that I have. It would show like any kind of like creasage or wrinkles, or if like anything wasn't sitting correctly on my face, it would just really highlight that area. So just not fond of it anymore for that reason. I just think there are so many better highlighters out there for literally like a freaking 1/10 of the price. I think I paid like $38 or something for this, and like to me Wet n Wild highlighters are better, and they're what, like $3 to $5? I'm not really too sure, to be quite honest with you. Now the next thing I'm going to be talking about is MAC liquid lipsticks. This one, or yeah, liquid lip color. This is in the shade Young Attitude. It is a beautiful, beautiful, a dark teal maybe, I guess is the best way. You can see it right here. You can also see that it is like very patchy. I bought this whenever I was working at a makeup counter in Macy's, and so there was a MAC in there and one of the employees was wearing it. I was like, oh my god, that's so pretty, what is it? I need to have it. And she told me what it was, so I went over and bought it. I was like, okay, using it, like trying to make it work, and I would just have to like put on like 2 thick layers to get it to be opaque and not nearly as patchy, and then it was just feeling cakey. I think I might like, I've never tried honestly any of the other shades. Maybe a neutral nude shade that might work a little bit better, might not have any of the patchiness or anything, but I don't know, this definitely rubbed me the wrong way, and so I haven't purchased any more of the MAC lipsticks, and I don't know if I will be, honestly, or if I do try them, I would definitely return them within the week if I'm not fond of them. The next thing is going to be Lime Crime liquid lipsticks. I love all the colors that they come in. Like this one is in this shade Jinx, yes, and it's a very like mauve-y color, I guess you would say. A deep mauve, like purpled base, and it is so pretty, but the formula is just not it for me. It's a very like thin consistency, very liquidy. It dries down so freaking dry that my lips are like cracking and like the product is peeling off from like the inside of my lips within about like 2 to 3 hours. It is just gross and it makes my lips hurt. Like it is uncomfortable how dry it gets. Like I can feel it on the outside of my lips and on the inside. Like it is just no go for me at all. This is literally so liquidy. Is whenever I was putting that back in the tube, which you saw wasn't very hard, it actually just splattered all over me. Like I have a big drop of it that just splattered on my thigh. It's just kind of gross. So I'm going to go clean this off and I'll be right back. Well, I am back. The next thing is the, sadly, Anastasia lip gloss. This one is in the shade Electric. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful color, and it has freaking violet blue sparkles in it, and it is freaking gorgeous. I'm going to try to see if I can get this into frame. That is the swatch, but this is one swipe. I love lip glosses. I love the Buxom lip glosses, Chanel lip glosses, Bite Beauty lip glosses. There's a lot of glosses that I love, but it is just the formula of this. It is so thick and so opaque that whenever I put it on, it starts to build up in the corners of my mouth and also like in the inside of my lip as well. It'll just like start forming just like this like thick layer of it, and if I'm like, there'd be a huge amount of gloss on my tongue. That is just not something I want to deal with. It just stays so thick throughout the day. It just was not doing it for me. It's just a consistency thing. Next on the list is going to be another Anastasia product, the Waterproof Cream Color, and specifically in the shade Silver. Super opaque. It's still creamy once I go past the first layer, and I do see that like the back of it says 6 months of like the use that you're supposed to get out, which I think is crazy because this thing is pretty big and I can't remember the price. I want to say it was in between like $14 to $18, and it says it's a cream color. It does not say anywhere on here that it's not safe for the eyes, so that's what I bought it for, was to put on the eye. I tried using this in my waterline or just around my eye if it was anywhere around like my actual eyeball, like if it was close to the inner corner. Wow, did this like super irritate my eyes. It was starting to like lift off some and flake up a tiny bit, and that was happening like in my waterline, so I was getting chunks of it in my waterline, which was extra uncomfortable, besides the fact that it was hurting my eyeballs in the first place. I have other cream colors by them and they're wonderful. The matte ones that aren't like metallic or anything like that, they work super great. It's just this shade in particular. And the next thing is going to be another MAC product. This is older, but it's not the line in general. It's what they do with this kind of stuff. So this is the Rocky Horror Picture Show eyeshadow. There's 6 shades in here, cool tones. You can see that right there. And I wanted this palette, you know, because Rocky Horror Picture Show, like freaking that it's a great movie. And whenever I found out MAC was doing a collab, I could not be more excited. Like, this is back whenever MAC was super like top of the line. They were one of the best brands to go get stuff from, probably about like 4 or 5 years ago now. Then I got it, and wow, was I like so disappointed with this product. All of the shades are just so dry and stiff. That Anastasia cream color will not come off my finger. You can see here I swatched in order. I didn't swatch the black, but you can see this one right here pretty much gave me absolutely like no payoff on my finger. It's the same thing as soon as it would go in my eyes. It was something that I would have to try to build up, like dipping into it like 6 or 7 times to get it to like pretty much remotely show up on my eyeballs. I think that's so crappy, honestly. Like, they upcharge all of their collaborations, which is fine. Like, I understand it's a collaboration, you know. I feel like a lot of the times now, their collaborations, I don't know, like the formula in them is not the same that it is with their regular product. It's like fucking 10 times worse, and sorry, I still have lipstick on my leg. It's like 10 times worse. Who in their right mind wants to pay like freaking $40 for this? And it did absolutely nothing. And I've played with so many of their collections whenever I used to work in the Macy's, and every single time like a collaboration would come out, it's just such bad quality, and it's such a shame, honestly. So yeah, that is me Rocky Horror Picture Show MAC collab. But in my book, I will not be buying ever any MAC collab eyeshadows unless they, for some reason, dramatically improve the formula for them. One of the next things is going to be this so cute Too Faced Love Flush Blush. This is the shade This is the shade Justify My Love. You open it up on the inside, you have a mirror as well as this little printed on or stamped on logo. It says Too Faced. It's got 2 bunnies and then some like, I don't know. It's a pink blush, obviously, like the same as the packaging. It has a little tiny bit of sparkle in it. Honestly, the sparkle doesn't show up on my face. This blush is beautiful. But about 3 hours after using it, I find like all over my face, like around the top of my lip, all around like my nose area, around my chin, dark pink little spots, almost as if you like wet a little tiny like liner brush. Almost as like a little tiny liner brush like this one, like you can barely even see it, like wet it and then like tried to do freckles on me. And the first time it happened, I was like, whoa, what happened to my face? Like, I couldn't figure it out. I didn't know what was going on. And then I just started noticing. I kept, you know, using this and using it and using it. And then like after like the 4th time, I was like, this is for some reason like leaving these weird specks on my face. Craziest thing ever. And I will say that I did buy this at, where did I get it? I got it at TJ Maxx. So I'm assuming it was discontinued. Maybe it was discontinued for that reason, or maybe reformulated. I'm not sure if they have them in store anymore. I haven't checked. But yeah, super weirdest thing, and that is the reason I will not be repurchasing, and I'm super sad that doesn't work because it's so nice. Alrighty, I have 2 things left, and they are both eyeshadow palettes, and this one I just really wanted to love. I tried to make it work so many times, and this palette is the Melt Cosmetics Smoke Sessions. I really wanted to love this palette so much, and I tried to make myself like this palette a lot. This is the inside. You have a nice mirror, and you have 8 shades in here. 6 shimmer metallic shades and 2 very dark matte shades. Now, I bought this knowing that. I think I just extremely wanted this palette just for what it is, being like, you know, like a weed palette. I thought it was really cool, you know. Nobody's really done that before. People have hinted around with stuff, but this is, you know, in your face. Like, there's marijuana leaves all over it. and I thought the shades were beautiful. I don't have anything with these kind of greens or with these kind of golds. Bought it and I was ecstatic getting it and everything like that. And then I got it and was trying to use it, and I just kept struggling and struggling, unfortunately. Whenever I buy an eyeshadow palette, whenever a lot of people buy an eyeshadow palette, they buy it thinking they can do a whole eyeshadow look or multiple out of this one palette, which would be like the case, you know, with Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette or the James Charles palette. Like, it's like they have universal shades, it's got transition shades, all that jazz. These, you have these two dark shades, which you can see them right here. And this is how dark they are with one swatch. And I don't know how well you can see this shade right here, which is Space Queen. It's kind of patchy. You would think it's going to be a very deep green, but it has kind of gray undertones a little bit whenever you're going into it. They're really hard to blend out, in my opinion. I don't want to have to work a shadow to death to have it blend. I don't know, like, it just doesn't work for me. There's not enough versatility out of this palette for me to justify paying, I think $50 is what I paid for it, somewhere around there. I think $48 plus like $5 shipping. I actually took Gravity OG right here and put it on my lids, and it honestly wasn't even doing too much for me. So I took a shade out of the freaking James Charles palette and put that on top of it, and I like it now. Oh, side note before I finish, I do want to say, like, I am not trying to be negative. I'm just giving my super honest opinion on these products. That way you guys can know, because there are products that I've mentioned that you would have to order online before you could swatch it. Like, you know, Melt Cosmetics isn't sold in stores anywhere, so that's just something you have to try. I love so many of their products. I have the Love Stack. I have the Dark Matter stack, and I freaking love them. They're super great, but the formula is not the same. The very last thing is going to be Kat Von D eyeshadows in general after the Movida Loca Remix palette, which is the big square palette. All the shades are in a circle. It's got your neutrals, it's got more rainbowy, bright colored shades, and it's a beautiful palette. All of the shadows, like all of the palettes that have come out after that one are just, they're just not good. They're not the same. I don't know what they started doing, but now they're like chalky and patchy. Like, they make them look so great on Instagram and everywhere, like, that they broadcast them, because like they're building it up and up and up, and then it just doesn't look like that in person. I have gone in and like swatched or tried out so many different Kat Von D eyeshadow palettes after that one has come out, and they are just nothing in comparison to what they used to be. They're, I don't know, I just feel like the formula went downhill. I know that she sold her brand to Kendo, I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure that's the name. I know she sold her brand for a fact, and ever since she sold to them, just whew, like downhill, just, I don't know, which is super unfortunate. I used to love her products, but yeah, I just wish that they were the same. I'll show you the inside of this one. This is the Quad Shade and Light palette. It is called the Sage. It's got the 4 shades in it. You've got your transition, more of a crease, all over like highlight shade, and then you've got your nice deep green. And this palette is workable. It's workable. It's a little bit better than Melt Cosmetics, but they're not like they used to be. That Movida Loca palette is so freaking great, dude. And it's just, it's really sad. It's really sad to see where her brand has gone, in my opinion. So yeah, that is going to wrap it up. That is everything that I have here today. That is the only stuff out of my collection that I would put in that category of non-repurchase or products that I regret buying in general. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope that you can learn maybe from like my mistakes before you buy something. But I will link my social media below because I want us to be friends on different platforms. That's about it. I hope you guys have a super great weekend. I will see you guys next week. Bye!